Hi guys, welcome back. What we're talking about at the moment, or what we're about to talk about, is welding. Just ordered a 10 litre argon bowl, which should be here tomorrow morning at about 10 o'clock. There's nothing more I can do at the moment, so I just wanted to do a quick intro onto that, and we'll move on to that tomorrow. Thanks. Right guys, I have my bowl. I have no idea what setting that feed needs to be at because I haven't read up, so I've just stuffed it at 25 and prayed. 10 litre, came in including the price of the bowl, 150 quid. Can't remember what the fill up is. I don't know, I can't remember what the fill up is, but that's irrelevant at the moment for the job I've got to do. Now, I've been prattling about as much as I possibly can practicing, and the results are not good. This was when I was using the small disposables, and I really wasn't getting a great deal of gas through there, as you can see, and behind there it started to get better there. It is still pretty bad though, and there. However, my last attempt, my very last attempt, I'll get this to sit right, my very last attempt was that. And it's down to technique. I think I'm on setting 1. I've tried it on the hotter settings and it just ain't happening. It's not forming a puddle, it's not doing anything. And I've swirled it. As I've gone round, I've swirled it. Trying to do a straight run don't work. So I've just swirled all the way around, and that's pretty much what I came up with. So I'm going to do a quick demonstration. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
There you go. It's better than it was. It's still not great. I mean, a professional welder will still laugh at that, but I'm happy enough to weld my unit together if I can produce that or better. That one came out better than that one. So yeah, I'll do that middle bit now. There you go. Still not great, but it's getting better.
First time, dear.
Well, I'm pretty pleased with it. We've gone from that to that. And it's down to the technique that works for you. Doing a straight run does not work for me. I can't get it to go. Here, hold that. And I'll demonstrate a straight run. I will do that corner there, so if you keep an eye on that, and I'll just do a straight run, nothing more. No swirly, nothing. Yeah. What? That's pretty damn good.
I know, it's pretty good.
I wasn't expecting that.
I'm doing well, dear.
Well, I've run out of aluminium to muck about with, see. I ain't got any left. I'm a little bit narked now. I'm just starting to grasp it. Yeah, there's a small area I'm going to do there. That's a bit lumpy. That was another run I tried to do. So if there's an air gap or there's some dirty alley or different types of alley, it's a struggle, and I don't know how to identify a different alley. I'll give this thing, point it at that. This thing is what it is. I mean, I'm grateful to the wife and kid for my birthday present, but cheap is cheap. If you buy one of these, the Chinese versions, there's one thing you need to do before you even turn the damn thing on. You'll need to undo those 3 screws, undo that little grubby bit there. In that part of the gun where all the wiring is, they've literally twisted the metal to get the wires together, and then they've screwed little plastic electricals over the top. In time they will fall off. In time they will fall off. You need to disconnect those, solder, and put some proper heat shrink in there. If you don't, they'll fall off. That will send a bad current to the welder, and then your board will go bang. The other thing I found with this is there's a piece of steel running through the centre of that. I'm going to replace that with what they call it, a nylon tube, because I can't help thinking that the alley is running against that steel, because I don't think it's stainless. It's running against that steel, and that's not a good thing. The other thing I did to get that better is I pulled this further out so that the nozzle sits further in, because a lot of what I was getting was the wire was literally locking up against the tip. I've gone through about 5 tips so far until I did this. Now you can see where the blob of weld is. It's away from the tip itself. Normally they finish right up against the edge of the tip, but because I've pulled this shroud away a little further, that has actually helped, and it's helped to guide the gases through. I'm an amateur. I am 100% amateur at this. I've never done it before. It's the first time I picked one of these up. I think my welder, I could do with a better welder. I don't think that welder is an AC welder. That would help, because AC pulsates. I did see on the welder up video that I've been talking about that he shot his welds across. His machinery is so much more superior to what I've got. I have to do this slowly because it won't do. I've tried doing it fast and it doesn't work. I can't get enough speed on the motor on this thing to be able to shoot it across. Simple as that. It is Chinese and they're not that great, but they'll do the job if you're not particular about how the welds look. As you can see from this one, from those little test samples there, I think that's good enough now to start my phase 2 of making the solar panel array. So next thing I'm going to do, not this week but next week, I'll go down the yard, I'll get some more aluminium, and we'll get a wire brush, stainless steel wire brush, and we'll start making up phase 2. We've already got the stainless steel bit here, which is the first part. The second part will be the aluminium piece that I've got to make up. So that's where we're at. I ain't cleaned none of this. I wanted to see how good it would come out with uncleaned aluminium, and it ain't great. I mean, there's still anodizing on this, but it did bite through. There's 2 runs going across that one and then there, and then I've weaved in and out on that one. There was one run that went down that weren't so great, and then I just went straight over the top again, and again here was another weave. That was a single attempt. So yeah, we also did some really thin stuff. I've been having trouble with this because it burns through so easy. It's about, what, 2 mil thick? So we've had a bash at various pieces. I mean, that's one run on its own, and then I went over the back after, because I've been doing a lot of this angle, but I haven't been doing the corner edges. So this cracked because I dumped it in water. I mean, we're a long way off from any kind of success. I mean, when we started doing this, we only had the disposable bottles on, and that's basically what was happening. It was terrible. So yeah, there isn't enough gas coming out of those disposable bottles. You'd have to have 2 of those on there, and I don't even know if that idea would work. I can't see why it wouldn't if you had 2 regulators going into a T-piece. But by the time you sat there and bought 2, maybe 4 bottles, you might as well have just paid the extra and got yourself a proper argon. I was lucky with the regulator because that came with my previous welder. It's been sitting in its box for about, what, 5-6 years. That has. So yeah, this is working out really well. I just got to grasp what I'm doing a bit more. One of my biggest issues at the moment though, that I think is a problem, is the motor in that gun is not matched to the motor inside the machine itself, the drive feed wire. So I've had this on full whack through everything, and I don't think I'm getting a fast enough spin on that motor. That's the ohmage issues. So if you're going to look for one of these, just be aware that that motor may not go at the same pace as your welder motor on full whack, because I can only take this up to about 4 to 5 on heat. Any higher than that and I'm just not getting enough wire feed to do any good, which is a shame, because this welder itself, it is more than capable of doing it. It's the gun, it's crap. The motor, it just won't go fast enough. I had sat there and I did think about this quite hard, about taking the motor out and maybe putting a proper motor from a welder or another Murex if I could find one, but that comes with its own problems, because I'd have to modify all the plastics and stuff. I'd have to pretty much make a new gun, and I really don't think I'm capable of that not at the moment anyway. So I'm just going to have to live with it. I'm not doing this on a professional level, so if I'm just doing things like that thin stuff that you see over there, and I live with the mess that's made and grind back after, providing it's strong enough. I mean, that's what grinders were invented for. As long as it's strong enough, we should be good to go. The welder is more than capable of doing this stuff, more than capable. So yeah, I might clear out all my tools because I need the concrete, and I might start cutting the alley on my bandsaw. And I need a better day than what we've got at the moment. I wouldn't want to leave all my tools outside until we've got good sunny weather, and I need heat as well. I need hot weather, because I need the alley to lay out in the sun for a couple of hours at least, get it nice and warm. That'll save me putting a blowtorch over it. And the other thing I'm trying to get my hands on is a stainless steel wire brush. That's a must apparently. And as you can see from the welding that I have done, nothing has been cleaned, and I mean nothing. So if I can get it, I mean it looks terrible, don't get me wrong, but if I can get it as good as that from not cleaning, I think we can produce some reasonably decent welding once we've got the wire brush. So I think this video really is all about welding. I know some of you guys were looking forward to this. Was it worth doing? Definitely. I'm not regretting any of this at all. It was a lot of money to get it the way it was, but I am at the point now where for example's sake, one job I've got to do, I'm still looking for a V8, and there is one possibly still available. I haven't spoken to the chap in a while, good mate of mine, but the threads are gone in the head. BMW gearbox up there that I did actually match to a Rover V8, but I used a steel ring on an aluminium casing. If I can find a bellhousing from a Range Rover, a V8 one, I can cut that bellhousing area off. I've seen this done, and I could join the two bell housings together, and using the MIG welder I could weld everything up. That's a job coming. So I was going to chuck the trike away because I'd had enough of it, but to be honest, I do fancy a Rover V8 trike, and if I do put a Rover V8 in it, I think we're going to go all out on that trike, and we're going to strip all the rubbish off, and we're going to start making all new panels, a new tank, and we're going to paint it all up in nice posh paint and get that looking really good. And I might even go as far as building some kind of wooden crate to go over the top, so when it's not being used in the winter, it's covered. You know, it ain't going to get absolutely destroyed, and we might wax it all up and leave the wax until the following year, and then power wash the wax off and re-wax it and polish it out. But the only thing I can think of to keep the rust at bay, that or WD-40 everywhere, and then power wash it off in the summer. So yeah, that's a possible pending job. An aluminium welder is so useful. If you have the option or the opportunity to do this, do it. Definitely. Don't hold back. But I warn you that when you first pick the gun up and you do think to yourself, oh, what is going wrong? Those thinner pieces that you saw from the video that I was watching of Welder Up, he suggested that you hold the gun at a certain position and you push the weld in as you go along. And I tried doing it by pulling it across, and that won't work, and it was just blowing through. Whereas the thicker stuff I was able to plait, and I was going that way. With the thinner stuff, I've suddenly discovered by doing what that he said in the video, which was pushing it and just keeping it steady, and see, that thing was set at something like 2 on the ampage, so I couldn't race it across because it ain't gonna work anyway. So I held it there a little longer. That's why the welding is so fat, and that comes down to the wire speed. If I could get that speed a little bit faster, I could zap that across there, and I know the welds would come out a lot nicer and a lot neater, obviously cleaning the aluminium up first. So that's the conclusions I've come to. It's a very short video, I apologise, but I think we're going to leave it here because I generally can't think of anything to do at the moment. Mine's all over the place at the moment. There's so much been going on. Catch you all later. Bye.